Until that woman says, let me apologize to you publicly, it'll be to the day I leave this earth. Because what you did was malicious, and it was intentional, and it was ugly. Would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
I remember when we first came in and we were doing rehearsal and they put us all in the same space. Like, we didn't have our own dressing rooms at the time. And
I heard about it.
Oh, yeah. And you corrected it for us.
You corrected it. Didn't I call you?
Yes, and I was like, Miss O, we gotta fix this. And she said, say less.
Remember the super hilarious and widely beloved Monique, the powerhouse woman who stood up against the higher-ups and went on a rampage to expose Oprah and her accomplice Tyler Perry for quite literally blacklisting her from the industry and labeling her as quote-unquote difficult to work with? Well, recently Monique has become more and more active, advocating for equal pay in the black community, making sure her brothers and sisters get paid what is due. She's, in particular, become rather defensive of the Color Purple cast after finding out the conditions those ladies had to work with on set, quite literally giving her flashbacks from her experiences working with Oprah while shooting the movie Precious. Well, it seems like Miss Winfrey is not all too fond that Monique is getting involved in yet another one of her scandals. So when started hitting the fan, she went all out publicly blasting Monique for the damage she is causing to her reputation. God damn. Now that's the fiery gossip I like to hear about. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time and aren't up to date on their ongoing beef, let me give you a quick recap on how it all went down. It all started with the movie Precious, the one based on a true story that came out in 2009. Monique played the role of the main character's abusive mom, Mary Lee Johnston, and even bagged a Golden Globe and an Academy Award for her stellar performance the next year. But here's the scoop. Behind the scenes, there was some serious drama involving producers Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and of course, Tyler Perry. Before the award season kicked off, Monique was asked to hit up the Cannes Film Festival in France to promote the film. The kicker? She wouldn't be getting paid for it, and that wasn't part of her original deal. So she said, thanks, but no thanks. Monique explained her reasoning saying, I said, Oprah, I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband and I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part, as she shared with The Hollywood Reporter. Now here's where it gets messy. Monique claims that after this whole Cannes thing, she got blackballed from the industry for being difficult to work with. And get this, she's still standing her ground, demanding justice to this day. Drama, drama, drama. While she insists that director Lee Daniels has extended a public apology for his role in her career's downturn. The same can't be said for two other giants in the industry, Winfrey and Tyler Perry. The tension between Monique and her reportedly escalated when the talk show mogul brought Monique's family onto her show to discuss the comedian's childhood abuse. That's one way to turn up the heat. Meanwhile, it appears that Tyler Perry might be reconsidering his stance in this unfolding saga. And the worst part of all of this is that Monique isn't the only person she has allegedly wronged over the course of these years. Yep, hold on to your seats because it seems like Winfrey is caught in the eye of a Hollywood storm. The usually drama-free queen of talk shows is facing a rocky year, with the cast of The Color Purple taking center stage to voice their grievances. In a surprising turn of events, Fantasia, known for her powerhouse voice, is not mincing words about the challenges faced during the filming of the iconic movie. Accusations are flying, and it appears that the cast, including Tara G and Danielle Brooks, are openly criticizing Oprah. Fantasia boldly claims that the on-set challenges were no walk in the park and that Oprah's sisterly image for black actresses may not be as spotless as it seems. Tara G and Danielle Brooks have also stepped into the spotlight, alleging that Winfrey subjected them to lengthy daily drives without ample security and made everyone share the same trailer.
I remember when we first came in and we were doing rehearsal and they put us all in the same space.
She also said, we didn't have our own dressing rooms at the time. We didn't have our own food. Taraji was our voice. This was my first studio film. Sometimes you do come in saying, okay, I'll take whatever they give me. I'm just happy to be here. But Taraji spoke up for us. You showed me how to do that. With the cast of The Color Purple airing their grievances, one can't help but raise an eyebrow, especially considering the movie's hefty budget of around $100 million. The burning question on everyone's mind, where on earth did all that money go? As the cast members point fingers at the challenging working conditions they allegedly endured during filming, the discrepancy between the substantial budget and the reported difficulties on set becomes a glaring issue. It's a classic case of follow the money. And in this Hollywood drama, the cast is demanding answers. How did a production with such financial backing end up with a cast facing significant hurdles and discomfort? And people hate that Oprah took away such a huge moment from Fantasia. One person wrote, "The Color Purple got derailed because of the false propaganda people kept pushing about Oprah and Taraji and others. There's a feud. Oprah this, Oprah that, all of that nonsense. This should have been Fantasia's moment to shine and all got overshadowed because y'all thrive on mess." Word on the street is that Fantasia, despite offering her support behind closed doors, is slyly throwing shade at her for her practices.
Everybody just saw the gift, but they saw opportunity to make money off the gifts.
Fantasia and Oprah go way back to 2007 when Fantasia snagged the role of Celie in The Color Purple on Broadway. But here's the twist. Fantasia seems to be treading lightly, not wanting to make Oprah an enemy in the public eye. Rumor has it, she's wary of potential repercussions like getting blacklisted, something Monique knows all too well. Even with this caution in the public domain, behind the scenes, Fantasia's reportedly all in for Terry G and Danielle, totally on board with their stories about Oprah's alleged mistreatment. And Fantasia isn't the only one who spoke about this.
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock. Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now? 100%. 100%? 100%. I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her.
Taraji P. Henson also didn't hold back as she spilled the tea on the behind-the-scenes drama of The Color Purple. In a recent interview with the New York Times, she revealed that the cast faced more than just on-screen challenges. They had to fight for basic necessities behind the scenes. Henson, known for her no-nonsense attitude, shared one such battle she waged on behalf of the cast: transportation and security. Apparently, the production initially handed out rental cars, expecting the actors to drive themselves to the Atlanta set. Henson, not having any of it, fought back, stating, "I couldn't drive myself to set in Atlanta. This was an insurance liability. It was dangerous. They were robbing people. What did I look like? Taking myself to work by myself in a rental car." She demanded more, asking for a driver or security to ensure safety. However, the response was a classic: "If we do it for you, we gotta do it for everybody." Henson's retort: "Well, do it for everybody." This interview peels back the glamorous facade of Hollywood, revealing the challenges that even A-list actors faced. It seems like Henson, much like her on-screen characters, wasn't afraid to fight for what was right. Whether it was on the set of Empire or The Color Purple, the drama continued both on and off the screen. After that, Taraji P. Henson opened up about the toll the industry took on her spirit, emphasizing the struggle to establish a name and gain respect in Hollywood. Reflecting on the challenges faced by black actors, she expressed frustration over the reluctance to take black films overseas. In her words, "It wears on your soul because you fight so hard to establish a name for yourself and be respected in this town to no avail." Henson questioned the industry's reluctance, highlighting the global appeal of black culture. She pondered, "Black translates all over the world, so why wouldn't the movies?" Noting her own following in unexpected places like China, she couldn't help but question the missed opportunities for financial success. This struggle for equality wasn't confined to Henson alone. During a recent Q&A for The Color Purple, Danielle Brooks revealed that the cast initially did not get their own dressing rooms during rehearsals, and food was not provided. It's a stark reminder that even in the world of entertainment, battles for basic rights and recognition continue. Henson's plea echoes a sentiment shared by many black artists: if it's not about race, then what is it? The industry is being called upon to confront these issues head-on. Taraji P. Henson's ride with The Color Purple was a roller coaster. Can you believe she almost turned it down? Why? Well, there was some serious drama over pay, and get this, she had to audition for the role of Shug Avery, even though the director had already picked her as the top choice. In a recent SiriusXM interview that went viral, Henson got real, and I mean real. She broke down in tears, pouring out her frustration about the ongoing pay disparities in Hollywood. Despite rocking it on Empire and having an Oscar nom under her belt, she's still battling for fair compensation.
"I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost."
But it's not just about her. Henson shared her exhaustion hearing other actresses voice the same struggles. Every time I do something and break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again. Like I never did what I just did, she sighed. It's like a broken record, and she's had enough. In a moment of truth, Henson laid it all out there, asking, if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the heck am I doing? It's a battle cry for change in an industry that's still dragging its feet on the road to fairness. The struggle continues, and Henson isn't holding back. However, the masses are on her side on this one. One person wrote, just know, in this whole Oprah v. Taraji, I'm Team Taraji, and to up the petty, I'ma need Taraji to disclose what she got paid in The Color Purple. Give me facts. And the worst part is that somehow it all connects back to the producers, in which we had the famous host. Terry has broken her silence and jumped back into the ring, adding her voice to the chorus of criticism against Oprah's alleged mistreatment. The entire cast is now standing shoulder to shoulder, expressing concerns about safety and exhaustion, while pledging to support each other in their fight for justice. As they put it, we don't do this alone. The fact that we're up as a whole entire team behind us. The spotlight on this unfolding situation is turning toward Oprah, the producer, and how she allowed such treatment of black actresses on set. The narrative is sickening, and it seems to extend to all black actors, with an even harsher reality for black women. According to someone close to the story, those in the trenches of storytelling know all too well that if you're black, you don't get paid what's fair or what you try to negotiate. Instead, you're paid what was allocated for a black creative, which will be even less if you're a black female. In one of these jaw-dropping interviews with the New York Times, Terry spilled shocking details about the working conditions on The Color Purple set. These revelations shine a harsh light on the challenges faced by actresses, forcing us to ask tough questions about the management and treatment of actors based on their color. And to think, all of this is happening on the set of a movie with such a substantial budget and a black producer at the helm. And oh boy, the fans are not having it. They're downright furious after hearing about the cast's struggles. And guess who's catching all that heat? Yep, Oprah's in the hot seat. Fans are letting loose on social media, turning it into a full-on battleground. And she's the target for not keeping up with industry standards. But surprise, surprise, the media mogul seems like she couldn't care less about the uproar. And when the movie didn't hit much, fans blamed that on her too. One person wrote, now why is Taraji out here blaming herself for the Color Purple movie flopping when really black folks are over Oprah's BS and don't want to support anything she is connected to? Another added, of course, Oprah is spearheading a campaign to blackball another black woman yet again. She's delusional as hell and truly believes in her heart of hearts that Taraji is solely responsible for The Color Purple's underwhelming ticket sales in the box office. One more person said, I hope Taraji P. Henson isn't blackballed from Hollywood or blamed for The Color Purple box office numbers ticket. People didn't want to watch 'cause of Oprah. It's a remake and it's a musical, and people had made it apparent based off the Mean Girls reaction. They don't like musicals. The disregard for these actresses reached new levels of outrageousness when it came to light, that they weren't even provided with food or hydration during their marathon 12 to 15-hour shifts. Can you believe it? Allegedly, they had to pack their own snacks from home just to survive those grueling work days. Acting is like dog ears. Danielle dropped that bomb, and Oprah, well, she wasn't thrilled, not one bit. But you know her, right? She swiftly went into defense mode, claiming she had no clue about the hardships the cast was enduring. In her interview, she basically said, hey, I'm not the money person here. That's Warner Bros. That's the studio system in action. Some folks see this response as a classic move to shift the blame, or maybe act like she's been living under a rock until someone spilled the beans on set issues. She also tried to defend herself. Whenever I heard there was an issue or there was a problem with the cars or the problem with their food, I would step in and do whatever I could to make it right. Lol, sure, it's like a game of Hollywood hot potato, and the blame is bouncing around. Will Oprah catch it? Or is this just another attempt to dodge the spotlight? No one knows. And now that all these black actresses have chosen to speak about the horrendous stuff that has happened to them, many others are also stepping up in the limelight to call out Oprah. One main person is Cat Williams.
We're not in a fair fight. Mm-hmm. We're already outmatched and outgunned at all points. And yet, every time we score a punch, it scores, just like everything else. Mm-hmm. And so you can sling me all around the room. I'm only counting what I landed on you.
Now, let's dive into Cat Williams' take on the Oprah saga. Hold on to your hat because Cat isn't mincing words. He's out here dropping truth bombs, suggesting that she might just be a puppet in the grand Hollywood scheme. According to Cat, she's not pulling the strings. She's dancing to someone else's tune. In Cat's eyes, it's like she's been handed a script, and it ain't one that's favorable to black actors. He's out there saying she's intentionally throwing obstacles in the way of black talent, making things harder than a Rubik's Cube. In expert mode, Williams just unleashed a 3-hour expose that's shaken up Hollywood. In a no-holds-barred interview with Shannon Sharpe, Cat went all in, peeling back the layers on Oprah and her behind-the-scenes moves throughout the years in the industry.
I don't know if you saw this, but Taraji P. Henson got extremely emotional the other day. She was giving an interview.
Yes.
And saying that they're vastly underpaid and say the math is not mathing. They get X amount of dollars by the time Uncle Sam get his cut, by the time the agency get their cut.
Cat, in his signature style, was dropping truth bombs left and right, laying out her playbook like a seasoned detective cracking a case. He's exposing the strings she's been pulling and the chess moves she's been making in the shadows.
We should be ashamed. But this is a country where we don't pay the teachers, and then we say the kids is the most important thing.
In the interview, you can almost hear Cat saying, "It's time to spill the tea on her," as he reveals what he believes is her true intentions and the impact it's had on the industry, especially for black talent. It's like Cat's blowing the lid off a well-kept secret, shining a light on the puppet master behind the scenes.
Or don't be wondering why people keep saying gatekeepers. Because clearly, y'all are keeping these gates. Clearly.
Having spilled the tea, the color purple turned out to be a game changer, revealing a side of her that hadn't been seen before. It's like a whole new perspective, and no one saw it coming. Cat is the voice speaking out, saying, "Hold on a minute, folks. This isn't the Oprah we thought we knew." It's not just Cat. Others are singing the same tune. In this interview, Cat takes a stand, and it's not a walk in the park. It takes guts to call out the big shots, especially when no one stepped up to say, "Hey, what you're saying is a bunch of baloney," not a single soul. Personally, if Cat were in Oprah's shoes and had a movie like The Color Purple in his pocket, a movie he loved and was passionate about, he'd go all out. Because let's face it, it's a black film with an all-black cast, and that's something to be proud of. If Cat were Oprah, he'd make sure his cast is not just taken care of, but treated like royalty. But here's the kicker. She's now under the spotlight, accused of not having the backs of black actors and actresses. It's a wild turn of events, and the drama just keeps unfolding. Who would have thought The Color Purple could stir up this much commotion?
No way. In a whole different realm of business. Oprah coming next. Once I establish this as a place of truth,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Watch. God's people ain't that few.
Other than that, Oprah was also called out by Janet Jackson, MJ's sister.
Do you think Oprah betrayed Michael?
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. And I feel like she betrayed not just him, but my family.
So, what do you think about how Oprah's been treating black actresses? You would think she would at least take care of her own. Am I right? Either way, let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button to never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.